Hello, YouTube. We are back for another installment of Captain Ario, or we all know the deal, Arrow. So this is the first wrap. It is dried. It has been in my dry press, a little overnight and about the whole day. And I am very happy with the results. In fact, I have to say that I believe this is the best leaf casting job that I did for an interior wrap since I've been doing leaf casting for about a year, probably less. So everything really matched up very well, in my opinion. And as you can see, the color match blended beautifully. I was able to fill all of the voids. And the important thing about it is now the page is supple. It could be bent, and the actual treatment that I did where I used methyl cellulose worked out dynamite. Now, in relation to the front, it is not lined up, or I'm not going to say lined up. The graphics on the first page are on an angle when it was drawn, so it is lined up nicely. But the color on the second page, or the first page, excuse me, or the first side of the wrap, is you can see the difference. It's not matched up 100% because there's different tans throughout the whole book. But the important thing is, and I was going to maybe do a double leaf casting on each side, and I decided not to, because the beauty of doing this is that the owner can see the original part of the book. We're not trying to hide anything. This is what is existing in the book, and you see the pieces that are missing. But then if you flip it around, you have a beautifully put together back side of the first wrap. So what are we going to do? Let's cut it. So hang loose, let me get everything ready, and we'll be right back, because still it has to lay underneath the press, the cold press, and I want to cut it so it can flatten out and not being pulled in all different directions. But I'm very happy with the results. I think it came out dynamite. So stay tuned and hang out 1 minute. Okay, guys, we are back and we are ready to cut the cover. Geez, I'm still saying cover. We are getting ready to cut the first wrap. Now, it's going to be very similar to the way I cut the cover. So what we have here is my flat triangle or clear triangle. Let's get a brand new razor. And let's cut first the side that has the most factory lines on it. And what does that mean? This is the side that has the most factory line on it, if that makes sense. So what I'm saying is it has the most of the original comic. So let's go and get a nice straight line. And I just want to give myself some wiggle room, and that looks good right there. So we're going to put down a lot of pressure, and we're going to slowly run the razor along my clear triangle, and hopefully it will take 1 or 2 passes. I do feel the Tengojo paper, which is encapsulated in the casting, so it definitely does add strength to the leaf casting, and I do not feel any thickness. This is very thin, just like the newsprint. And look how nice. I'll do my spin test there, that I like to spin it around. Now let's cut the bottom. Now this is going to be a little bit more difficult, and it looks like maybe I should have brought the casting out a little bit more, but I didn't, and I'm sure we're going to be fine with it. So that looks good right there. Let's cut it. And I see I made a mistake here. I didn't bring it out enough on this, so we're gonna have to repair that. And I'll show you how I'm gonna do that. So let's cut a straight line here. This was a difficult wrap to do, and I am happy with the color match and the way it came out, but I am a little unhappy with what happened here. So we're gonna have to fix that, and I'll show you how I'm gonna fix it in another upload. So that was a mistake on my behalf. Not a big mistake, but it is a mistake because the casting should have been extended more on this section right here. So it's my mistake. It's not something that I can't fix by adding pulp, and I'll show you how it's going to be done. So what I want to do now excuse me, I just left my room. I want to take the cover and I want to see how the cover lines up with the actual wrap. So it's pretty good, pretty good. So we'll tap it down. So we got this side as being pretty good. It's lined up nicely. Let's flip it around and see, because what I want to do is I want to make sure that we have enough casting to go along and everything lines up nicely. I want the cover to be a tiny bit bigger, so right there we're in pretty good shape. And we're also pretty good here on the right side. So what I want to do is let's take the cover and let's line it up so we can at least cut the right side. So I just want to extend it a little bit, if that makes sense. And this is where we're going to cut it. Now what I'll do is I'll make some markings with a pencil, because we can always erase the pencil. And we're gonna go right here. And then we're gonna go right here. Let's move this to the side. So that is our guide right there. So what I wanna do is let's line it up just like that, and this is going to be our guide for the cut right there, just like that. And you can see how much of this cover on the right, the first wrap was missing. So let's cut it and let's see how it turns out. We'll go down a few times. And this is going to be our template for the remainder of the wraps. I only have 12 more to go, which is pretty funny. But one thing that we did learn is I'm going to have to extend the pulp a little bit more next time, which is fine. So here's your first wrap. Here is the cover. Let's see how we did lining it up. And hopefully I did a good job. And again, I want the cover to extend a tiny bit, which it does, which is nice. And I'll adjust this when I'm done here on camera a little bit more so I can get closer to it. So that's looking pretty good. So hold on, YouTube. Okay, guys, I'm back. I am sorry for that interruption, but that was my wife calling down because it's happy hour in our household. I'm filming this Friday night and it is 5 o'clock. So she asked me what type of drink I wanted. So I cut it off camera because I had to get really close because my margin of error was very small. As you can see here, I did not have much casting that I can work with. So it came out very nice. I may have to adjust it, but this is how the first wrap is going to sit. And it fits nicely on the cover. So the actual placement is right on, in my opinion. And I'm very happy with it. So this is so far the book. You're gonna open it up, you're gonna see the cover, the first wrap, you got your cover. Now, like I said, we have 12 more to go. So I'm gonna work on that and I'll show my progress. I think I'm gonna do a time lapse. So tell me how you think I did. I think this came out very nicely with the color match. I think it lines up very nicely. And then we'll be back to the drawing board with the other wraps. And I think, like I said, a time lapse is in order. So stay tuned and thank you for stopping by. Take care.